Hello, everybody, and welcome to the HOME course. HOME stands for Human-Centered Ownership and Measured Excellence. I'm happy that you all are here today for our first session, our first meeting. This is recorded, so if you don't want your face on the recording, you can turn your camera off. I prefer to have the camera on because then I get to see everybody and it makes it more, I would say, personable. But as I said, it is being recorded. So we're recording it for the people who are not able to be here. And if you're not able to make every session, don't worry, we are recording them all. And I'll try to post the recordings very shortly after uh, they happen so that if you want to get started on the work early, you can. As I said, this is the HOME course, and it's the Human-Centered Ownership and Measured Excellence course that we're calling HOME as the acronym here. This is the home page that I'm on, and I'm going to go down and just show you very briefly the home page, and then we're going to get into our week one meeting focus. So I'm just going to read this here. It says, over the 10 weeks, you're going to move room by room through this house. Each room is a piece of your teaching practice you get to design on purpose. Every week pairs with a live home meeting. That's this one. And then there is a home inspection, which I will explain later, of your own classroom. And together, it's going to be 20 hours. So it's an hour of, online synchronous, and then an hour of work that you're going to be doing on your own. The way that this page works is I've got each of the rooms of the house here. And you can see that they have the week, kind of where it stands in the course as a whole. And then it's got the focus here and the name of the room. And so we're going to start here this week with inclusive syllabus in the living room. And what you can do if you're on this page, I'm going to put this in the link in the chat for y'all to quickly access if you want. And if you're not in right now, don't worry. There's going to be a time where y'all will be working on things, and I can add anybody who's not in here currently. But what you're going to do for each of these, you've got the images here. Underneath, you can click on this banner, and it'll bring down a little focus, like more specific of what we're going to be doing during the meeting, and then what you can do during the inspection. And that works for all of these, so you can just kind of click around as you go through. If you're done with week one, obviously you don't need to open up week one. You can just go straight to week two. And these buttons down here will take you directly to that assignment. And so just to show you, so if I'm here, we're starting week one, I can click this go to the meeting button, and it's going to open up the meeting page right away. And this is set up as an assignment, so I'm giving you all the information here, but then at the end, you will click the start assignment, and then that's how you will get the credit for joining this session, either live or watching it later. So I'm just going to go ahead and read down this. I've organized each of the meetings according to Gagne's 9 steps of instruction. And so you'll see it'll say event 1, event 2, event 3. And this is another same thing where you're just going to click the banner as you get to it. And so we're not quite to event 1 yet, but we're going to be there in a second. Sure everybody's in. Okay. So for week 1, we're going to start in the living room. So we're using this metaphor of the house, and we're kind of like moving through the house. And this is usually the first place people go when they enter a house. This is where we're going to set the stage for a sense of belonging in the home and in your course. And the way we can do that is with the syllabus. And so we're going to be focusing on the syllabus here today. But before we get into all of that, I've got to gain your attention in some way. And so this is our icebreaker to start off our class today, our meeting. We're going to throw a party. This is a classic icebreaker. If you're doing any course on any topic, you want to help people to remember names. This is a really good one. You're having a party and you're going to bring something to the party. So right now, as you can see, our living room doesn't have anything in it, and so I want to fill this living room with stuff, and so I want you all to bring stuff to this living room. So if we're gonna have a party, what would you bring uh, to make the party, right? What would you bring to make it interesting and fun? And so, for example, I have mine here. If you click open this tab, you should be able to see this Padlet. If it doesn't come up for any reason, you can just click this button here and it will open up the Padlet in a new window. And you can see they're coming in already. There's already some people that have submitted. But for me, I'm Ronald, and I'm going to bring robots to the party. And I'm not just going to bring any robots. I'm going to bring six-time Grammy award-winning electropop pioneers, Daft Punk, to the party because I think they got good music. They got I put here sweet beats and futuristic funk. As you can see, also there's some other people. So Brenton is not here live, but he was able to go in there earlier, and he said he's going to bring some food. I see Julie's in here. Julie, what are you bringing to the party?
House plants.
Houseplants to maybe give us some room to breathe in the room.
Yes, some life and balance.
Mm, I like it. Okay, and then we've got Desmond. Is Desmond in here live? Don't see him. Oh no,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
there
right
he is.
here.
Hey Desmond, what are you bringing?
Yeah, I'm bringing a couch. I think people need to sit down and relax.
That's right. As you can see, we just have a one little armchair. So if Desmond's going to bring the couch, that's going to give us a chance to be comfortable. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be pretty quick. I'm just going to give you all a minute or two to add something to the Padlet. Once again, you can just, if you're in this page for meeting number one, you can just click this plus button and then the format would be I'm name and I'm bringing something. And then you can write a little bit more about that. And if you can find a picture, you can add a picture from your computer or a picture from the internet there. So I can see one already that has been added. Sean, is that Sean Briggs? What do you bring into the party?
The music.
You gonna bring some more music?
Yeah. So bring some vinyl records, most likely Grateful Dead and Bob Seger.
Okay, nice. All right, great. So some more vibes from Sean. Thank you. Tracy, are you bringing a cat?
I would prefer multiple cats.
Multiple. So they can like kind of entertain each other.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then keep the introverts company on the
Oh
couch
yeah.
that was brought earlier.
There you go. All right. Well, we got some cats at the party. So y'all can fill in that one. I'm actually going to give you, like I said, a minute. I'm going to stop talking for a minute, and we'll just let this. This is not a Padlet. This is called DigiPad for anybody who is interested in adding something like this to your class. I'm going to put the link there, digipad.app. It's free. Whereas when you use Padlet, you can only, I think, do 3 or 4 Padlets. But this one you can do, I think, up to 100. So, okay. I was going to put on some music to go along with this. I found some Daft Punk. I like that everybody's bringing food. Next week is we're going into the kitchen, so you have to think about what kind of recipe you want to bring to the course. And then if anybody is not in the course, shoot your email address. Send me your CPTC email in Zoom, and I'll try to add you. Oh, actually, I have a self-enrolled link. It wasn't working before, but it's working now. Good for now. Sorry for people in the waiting room. Kind of trying to do a lot of different things here. So, since the music was playing, we had Christopher coming in with the dip. Hannah's going to bring some drinks to stay hydrated. Thank you for that. And Charity's bringing chips. Oh, we got the chips and the dip. And then Derek is going to bring yard games in the house. Derek, how's that going to work?
No, in the yard, man.
No, we're going to do the yard later. This is living room. We got to think about what we can bring into the living room.
You can play cornhole in the living room. Why not?
Well,
There's only a
just
few
make-
pieces of furniture.
Hey, you're not the only one. It looks like Earl just decided that he was also going to bring cornhole. So maybe y'all can bring each one, each side. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do now, I'm gonna let this what do we call them? Digipad go for the whole week. So for if you're watching this later, it's the recording. You still have time until the end of the week. I'm going to take everything that everybody brought, and then I'm going to attempt. Keyword is attempt to use AI to add those things into the living room. So I'm going to make another photo here with all the things that you all said that you were going to bring. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try it, and hopefully I can get it in here. I'll try to do one of these things. I don't know if y'all saw on the homepage that here. This is a H5P. Can't remember what it's called. It's called like a slider or something. But this is very easy to make with H5P, where you would have an image on top and then an image underneath, and then you can move the scroller over. So as we make our way through this course, we are going to slowly reveal our nice house there, our nice home. Okay, so thank you all for that. Hopefully that grabbed your attention there at the beginning. I'm going to talk about our objectives now here, just so that we know kind of where we're headed and how it fits into this course as a whole. By the end of today, we're going to understand our full 10-week journey. You're going to clean up your navigation in Canvas a bit, make sure that Simple Syllabus is on, and then start with a welcoming message that will make your students feel like they belong. Or simply, you'll be able to clean up your Canvas navigation so students have one clear path, and you'll be able to turn on Simple Syllabus and write a welcoming message. You'll leave with a tidy navigation and started welcome message, and then a clear path for your first home inspection this week. I try to include the alignment for each of the meetings, all the way up to the college-wide learning outcome. If we talk about that at all of our in-service days, and I'm sure y'all are tired of hearing about that, but I tapped this college-wide learning outcome as communication, remember and understand. Down the line, I also aligned, since we don't really have program learning outcomes in the Teaching and Learning Center, I aligned it with the skill standards because I know some of y'all are going through your tenure process, or if you're a full-time adjunct, and you want to align it to the skill standards. This would be a D1. So at the end, it will be 2 hours of D1. And then the course learning outcome is for this course specifically is 3, apply the Washington Course Design Checklist and the CARES framework to diagnose and improve course quality. If you want to see more information about this, if you go into the modules, you have the homepage is the first one that we were just looking at with all the rooms on it. The next one is About Home. And this page, I'm not going to go through it. You can kind of go through it on your own time if you feel necessary. There's a little section here about who I am, kind of what I'm into. And then I have a statement of how I used AI to create this course. If you're looking at these pages and you're like, wow, how does he have all the time to like code all the HTML? It's a lot of AI putting the HTML together. I'm giving what I want to cover and in the order and the content. And then it's making it into an HTML that I can just copy and paste over into Canvas. And it'll add all these little boxes and accordion menus. As I said, 20 hours for this course. It's 10 weeks. Oh, I said I'm not going to talk about this. So this is how the weeks work and how the credit works. So if you want to go through that, it's kind of, here's the 10 weeks, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. But here on the About homepage, these are the course learning outcomes. There are 10 and they're aligned with the weeks. And then the program learning outcomes, as I said, aligned with the skill standards. And then how the alignment works with the college-wide learning outcomes as well. And then, let's see here, we have how this will serve the CARES goals of the college. And we have dedicated weeks for each of these that will be led by your faculty leads. There's a portfolio in this course that you can open here, but also on each of the assignments where you need to submit something to a portfolio, there's a button to take you directly there so that you can keep all of your assignments all in one place. Very easy to access. And then everything in this course is badged. So if you want to know, like kind of do some self-tracking, or later on when you're filling out your professional development in the course and you're submitting your hours to the course, you can easily see like these are all the badges that I got. And each one of these badges is worth an hour. If you can get all 20 badges, then you would get this completion badge, which that looks weird here, but this would be equal to 20 hours. So that's what you would submit into the PD tracking course, which we'll be talking about in the next session. So if you don't, still kind of confused about tracking professional development, you can make sure you come to that next week. And then the last thing here is the home board. If you have any sort of questions, comments, feedback at the end of any of the modules, if I go back here to modules, you can see there's a discussion board here. So I'll go in and check these to make sure, if anybody has any concerns or anything, I'll try to address. Or if I'm like giving links or talking about websites or AI tools, I'll try to add it here into this so that you can kind of keep your resources all together there at the end. Okay, we're going to move on to the next thing, but before we do that, are there any questions so far? If you do have questions, please feel free to put them into the chat. I will try to answer them as I can. But we're going back to something that you all can do here. This is event 3 of Gagne's 9 events, is to stimulate the recall of prior learning. And so I want y'all to think about, as we're starting off this course, y'all are starting your courses. Yeah, it'll probably be your first Monday session of your courses if you're teaching today, or your first Tuesday if you're teaching tomorrow. I want you to think about when last time that you were in the classroom, what made you feel like you belonged in the classroom. And so I have a form here. You can write your email. Definitely make sure you write your email, because that's kind of how you get credit for doing today's session. And then write your answer in here. I'm going to also let people hop off mute if you want to share live. But I'm going to give another minute of Daft Punk while we think about what made you feel like you belong in the classroom. I think that's enough time. Let me see what I can do here. The belonging. Might be able to see these live. Oh, present. Yeah, here we go. Okay, got email. Okay, so feel free to hop off mute if you want to share. I've got some answers coming up on the screen, and I can scroll down as more come in. But does anybody want to hop off and share what made you feel like you belonged in the classroom?
I like it when people play Daft Punk.
Yeah, music is a thing. I'm not crazy for doing that, but like, music, I go over to who is it, HVAC? They got music going in there, and Millennium Mel always says he's got music on because it makes the students feel more comfortable. I can read some of these. The ability to contribute and be heard, acknowledged by name when entering. I'm sorry I couldn't acknowledge everybody as y'all came in here. Genuine greeting, being greeted by name. Well, so name is a big thing here. I'm seeing it a couple times. Oh, yeah, I was going to try to do this the last time I was in class, let me read it here. My instructor took a few minutes to talk to us casually before starting the class. I had a meeting before this, so I wasn't able to do that, but I plan to do that moving forward. If you come a little bit early, I'll let you in and we can chat about things. Friendliness, created by name. Yeah, remember something personal about me. Name of a dog. So that icebreaker of bringing something to the party, um, I didn't run it how I originally ran it. When I first did it, it was live, and you would go. Everybody would be in a circle, and you would bring something that started with the first letter of your name. So that's why I brought robots, Ronald, robots. Um, and then you go around the circle, and so the next person would say, um, I'm I'm Julie and I'm bringing juice. Or Ronald's bringing robots, and then I'm Julie and I'm bringing juice. And then it would go to the next person and it would be like, Ronald's bringing robots, Julie's bringing juice, I'm Diana and I'm bringing donuts or something like that. So and then you the goal is to try to have, it's really hard for the last person because they have to like try to remember everybody else's name, but then the other people can kind of like help out. It's kind of like a collaborative thing. And when you hear somebody's name and what they're bringing to the party, like 10 or 15 times, then the names really stick. It's a really nice way to remember names. So, okay, good. Thank you all for filling out that form. That lets me know that y'all are here and interacting with the course. Now it's time to present the content. So this is event 4. This is your home and this is your 10-week journey. So I've talked about it before a bunch and even talked about it at in-service day. But for this course, we're thinking about our teaching practice as a house that you already own. You're not rebuilding your courses in this course. You're going to be inspecting your courses and seeing if there's any room for improvement, or if there's no room for improvement, if you're like Diana and just your course is just perfect, then you don't really need to do the work. But at least right? Like in your mind, how kind of like where you're at in that. And so we're going to be walking through each room and deciding how to design or furnish it. The 10 weeks, we'll go through the whole house. So weeks 1, 2, 3, we're starting in the living room. Next week, we're moving over to the kitchen. And then week 3, we're going into the backyard. From weeks 4 to 8, we're going to be previewing what we're calling the CARES Community of Practice, or the CARES COP for short, or COP. This would be like the upstairs of the house. So we're going up into each of the rooms. And at some point, you're going to pick a room that you want to join in the community of practice after the next in-service day. But for this course, we're just going to kind of intro or preview those communities of practice. Weeks 9 and 10 is the front yard and the dining room. We'll finish in the dining room, where we'll all meet around the table and eat good food and hopefully have a nice little party. The 5 community of practice rooms are aligned with the CARES goals of the college. So as you know, on all the computer screens, community of care, access, retention and completion, employment, and sustainability. Once again, you don't need to choose one now. We're going to preview them 4 to 8, and then you'll formally pick which room you want or which community of practice you'd like to join in week 10. Okay, so that's a little bit about the course. I was going to ask some faculty leads to give a little bit more about that, but I think we'll just we'll save it for when we get there. But yeah, we're and you can see if you go back to the homepage, like if I click down here to week 4, this is the community of care room. This is going to be focusing on course design and Canvas excellence. Accessibility is going to focus on, or the access room is going to focus on accessibility. The retention room is going to focus on assessment and feedback. I guess I can just finish these off. So the employment room is actually not employment outcomes. This is work. Somebody help me out. We got two of my employment people in here. We're doing competency-based instruction, CBI. And then for sustainability, we're going to look at technology and AI, more specifically digital adaptability. So those are the focuses of those sections. Okay, I'm going to switch gears here from the course as a whole. Actually, before I do that, questions. I can stop for questions. I see one in the chat. So should we be focusing on a class we are teaching this quarter or a course we are teaching next quarter? That's a great question. And I think I get to it at some point. But to answer your question now, a course that you're teaching now would be best. So I'll talk about the inspection documents soon, but the idea would be you're teaching your courses throughout the week. You've got this little document and you're kind of like, oh, this is, I would say I'm emerging in this, or I'm, well developed in this. Okay, good question. Anybody else have anything that they are curious about? Once again, pop them in the chat if you need to. I'm going to go and focus on inclusive syllabus now, because that's kind of the main focus of this week here. So you might be asking the main question here when you see inclusive syllabus: what makes the syllabus inclusive? Regular syllabus often reads like a contract, right? I think we were even part of some sort of syllabus management system that said, like, almost was like, your syllabus is a contract, and we're like, no, we got to get out of that. We don't want that's not what the purpose of a syllabus is. It's not like a, hey, you can't do this, or these are the rules, and if you break them, you're in trouble. Oftentimes the syllabus will talk about the student in the third person. An inclusive syllabus carries all the same information, so you're not like taking stuff away or making your courses less rigorous, but it's going to lead with belonging. So it's speaking directly to the students with a warm, plain voice, and then tells them that they're welcome and that they can succeed here, and it gives the reasons behind the policy instead of just the rules and the points and points them to support before they ever need it, right? It's a little bit more proactive, if you were to use another word for that. So same facts, different posture. A regular syllabus protects the instructor. An inclusive syllabus invites the students in, inviting them into the living room. So I built this short read here. I made a Google Notebook LM. So if you want to click on where it says here 48 sources, I've talked about Notebook LM in the Applied AI course. So if you've never seen this tool, message me and maybe I can give you the direct link to where we're doing stuff in Notebook LM. But basically, I searched for inclusive syllabus, and it found 48 sites about inclusive syllabus and inclusive syllabi from KU, UIC, Michigan, UCD, Ohio. And then what it did was it took all that information, and then I had it create a video, and I had it create a slide deck and a podcast. So you can access these here if you just click on like, let's say you're interested in this website. This will give you the direct link. So depending on what rabbit hole you have the capacity to go down, those links are there if you're interested in more about the inclusive syllabus. This is the slide deck. So you can kind of click through that if you want. I'm not going to be focused. I'm not going to go over this in too much detail. Like I said, if you need more information about inclusive syllabus, you can do that. The podcasts are pretty nice. It's two people talking for 15 minutes about it. I will play this video because this is something new that Google Notebook LM did. They have a shorts button, so you can just click it and it'll make like a little 1-minute explainer, and it even has captions on it embedded in there. So I'm going to play this.
Inclusive syllabus design aims
Can everybody hear that? Okay, cool.
to create a welcoming classroom, but cold, legalistic language can trigger anxiety and alienate students before the first day of class. Take a standard late work policy. The student will receive a 0 for any unexcused late submissions. This content-focused framing relies on third-person detachment and punitive absolutes, signaling an adversarial environment where you're just a potential rule breaker. But watch what happens when we apply a learning-focused shift, replacing those detached terms with personal pronouns and cooperative phrasing. The policy now reads, I know unexpected challenges arise. If you need an extension, please contact me so we can work out a plan. Notice the critical distinction here. The actual deadline didn't disappear. Inclusive design doesn't mean lowering academic standards. It means changing how they're communicated. Treating the student as a competent co-learner reduces the defensive anxiety that actively depresses academic performance. So that terrifying late work policy from the beginning, it's no longer a trap waiting to be sprung, but a collaborative roadmap for your success.
Yeah, like that. So not perfect. There was some part in there where it was like the text was over other text and it wasn't very legible, but for being able to click a button to create content, I feel like I was able to, pick up a little bit off of that. Why are we starting with the inclusive syllabus? So a lot of this course is based on the Washington Course Design Checklist. There's elements that have been brought in from that, and kind of checked the course against it and went through and tried to check off a lot of the things. Sense of belonging is the first item. So if you click this one here, it will open up the most recent version of the course design checklist. If this looks familiar to some of you, this was the focus of the framework for faculty and student success course that we ran, was 2 years ago, which is still available if anybody wants to really go. We went week by week on these indicators. Like we spent a week focused on what the standard is in general, and then we went kind of one by one on some of these. So if this is something that you're interested in, the community of practice for the community of care is going to be looking at sections 4 and 5. So the framework course we were only able to do the first 3 sections, but sections 4 and 5, if that group continues with what we were planning, then they would cover the second sections, or the last 2 sections, sorry. Okay, so today we're going to make 3 moves. As I said earlier, we're going to clean up our Canvas navigation, we're going to turn our simple syllabus on, and we're going to write a welcoming message. So those are our ways. There's much more things you can do with your syllabus to make it more inclusive, but those are the 3 things that we're going to be focused on here. I want to note this really quick. So filling out your simple syllabus is already part of your job. So that's not going to count as professional development. You all being here and, like learning about this stuff and interacting, that's professional development. You going through your course, reviewing it and reflecting and filling out that inspection document, that's professional development. But if it's something that you already should do, like having a simple syllabus and filling that out, that's part of your normal workload. So that would not be included in the hours for getting professional development credit. We're here to help you do it well. And then, as I said, the home inspection document is the one that you will get the credit for. Here's another quick little breakdown. So we're going to meet 60 minutes. You're going to expect on your own course for an hour, and then you're going to submit that, and that's how you get your credit. And then we'll go over the portfolio more next week once we have more submissions to it. So, but there's actually, I think, some in the next in the next assignment it will go more about the portfolio. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a quick demo. Still have 20 minutes. This is good. So I've already got my screen shared. If y'all want to follow along, you can. You're gonna be doing it on your own in a second anyways. Like I'm gonna give you time and I can help if you get lost, if you're not able to follow along. I tend to go pretty quickly on some of this stuff. I know that. I try to slow it down, but my nickname is Fast Action. So what can I say? Let's start by cleaning our Canvas navigation. Okay, so for those that don't know, the navigation is over here on the left side, and my navigation is specific to, like, it's in the order that I want, and the things are turned on that I want turned on, and then things that are turned off that I want to be turned off. So what I usually do when I start a course, I hop into the settings, and then I come over here to navigation, and usually it'll have like a big long list. If you're in a course right now, so actually this will be a good chance to bring up what Julia was saying earlier. Julie was saying earlier that if you want to pick a course that's kind of your course that you're going to be focused on throughout this this summer session and home, that would be good because you'll just have that one that you can look at. But find a course. Like I said, what I usually do is I'll take all of the stuff and then I'll just drag it down, drag it. I just drag everything off at first because a lot of it I don't need. There's some things where I'm like, okay, I know I need modules, so maybe I'll leave modules. I won't drag modules off. But the accessibility report, that's something once I'm ready for my course to go, ready to start my course, then maybe I'll keep that in. The attendance, I'm trying something out with that. And then Zoom, this is where we would have Zoom. I've got parchment badges on because this course have badges. I've also got outcomes because I've also set up outcomes in this course. But the most important thing you would need to do here is if syllabus is on and simple syllabus is off, you can see if it's above this line here, that means it's on. So make sure you have your simple syllabus on, and then make sure that your regular syllabus is off. So you can drag it down like that. You can click these dots to either enable it if it's disabled, or disable it if it's enabled. Okay, so try to think about where are your students going to go the most. I usually put modules up at the top. Announcements are important, so that's at the tippy top. And then simple syllabus is an important thing if you want to turn on grades. But some of these other things, like I don't have any quizzes in here, so I've got quizzes off. I don't need that, gumming up the navigation if I'm not using it. You do it. Sometimes Office 365's on, unless you're doing something like specifically with, like if you're in your course and you're like, I need this and I use this, obviously turn that one on. But if you don't need it and you don't know what it is, you can just turn it off. And then make sure when you're done to click save, and then you'll see whatever changes that you make to the navigation will be over there on the left. Okay, so turn the simple syllabus on and regular syllabus off and click save. Now we're going to go into the simple syllabus. I need to do one quick thing here before I do that. But yeah, usually when you have your simple syllabus turned on, all you would need to do is click over where it says simple syllabus. So just quickly for those people who don't know about Simple Syllabus, it is a website that is separate from Canvas. It's integrated into Canvas, but it's actually not on Canvas. Their database is held on their Simple Syllabus website. And so if you make the changes in Canvas, it will send it like to that website. So don't worry. But some people have come up to me with questions like, "Oh, I don't have anything in my course. Is it okay if I fill in my Simple Syllabus and then import another course?" It is okay because they're separate. And so and that also means like if you've already filled out a Simple Syllabus and you're teaching the same course again, that's why when you click on it, it automatically imports from before. So this is what Simple Syllabus looks like. I added a little banner here at the top just to kind of help with visualization, consistency. There's some stuff that can be turned on. There's some stuff that can't be turned off. And this looks like I don't have the ability to edit this right now for some reason. Usually you would have an ability to go in here and edit it directly. But what I want to focus on, not any of that stuff. If you need help with Simple Syllabus, I think that I gave a list or a link here to our LibGuide page. On our LibGuide page, I made a video about how to do Simple Syllabus. So let me just confirm really quick that that's there. I go here. Yeah. So it's actually in event 6. So we're on event 5 right now. Event 6, there is a guide. It's a 9-minute video that goes over how to use Simple Syllabus. So I'm not going to go into that here in this session. I want to focus on that welcoming message. Okay. So if you go into Simple Syllabus and you're able to edit it, which you should be able to do, you can see that there's a placeholder for welcome, and I believe it's an orange, like it has an asterisk and it's orange. It's something that you have to fill out. So this is your chance to attempt to help your students feel a little bit more like they belong in your course. This is right at the beginning, start to make your syllabus more inclusive. What I have here for mine, welcome to home. You already do the hard work of teaching, and this course gives you structured time to step back, look at your practice with fresh eyes, and document what's working. I'm glad you're here, and I think you'll leave with something genuinely useful, a
Did you
clearer
review
path
your
and a
contract
portfolio that proves it. Question?
in soft docs?
Soft
Oh,
docs?
okay, I got an email saying it's not working.
I don't know. This is a little bit separate from that. This is Simple Syllabus. So, maybe some soft docs questions. I think that's somebody else's. I don't really know much about that. But for this, if I were to just kind of like do a little autopsy on this one, I've got. I mean, this is true. I'm not. I didn't just put this just to put this here, but y'all are hardworking teachers, right? And you spend a lot of time on your craft, making sure that your students succeed. I want to acknowledge that here for y'all, and say you're taking extra time to come in here and do this. I hope that this is an enlightening experience for you as you look back at your course and your teaching practice. I am glad you're here. There's a lot of people here today. Let's go for 21. I feel like it was up to 30 for a second. And then, yeah, like I said, the goal for this is for you to get something useful, a clear plan to if you need to improve anything. And then the portfolio, I'm just always going to be pushing portfolios. So that's a way to prove the work that you did. So what we're going to do, that's the example. Now y'all are going to go in and write your own welcoming message. So let's say this is the one that I wrote. I have a tip here if you're interested in using AI, you're familiar with it. If you can't think of a welcoming message, I mean, at least try to think of something like, I'm happy that you're here, or in this course we're going to do this. Try on your own, but there is AI there. I've got the link here to Copilot. That's our institution version. You still need to sign in if you're going to do Copilot. Obviously, any AI you use is okay because this is not really like sensitive information. This is a little prompt if you want to try. Write a warm, plain language welcome for my course, and then you would just fill in your course that tells students they belong and what to expect in the first week. And then you get your response, you go back and say, no, that's not right, or you take it and you change it and make it what you want. So try to, maybe you've got some ideas to start with. AI can kind of fill in the blanks, and then you can obviously edit that if you need to. Okay, and then I'm going to go over the home inspection in a moment. So I'm going to give you all some time here to clean your navigation, go into the settings, navigation, and hide everything and turn back on only what the students need to see. Make sure that Simple Syllabus is one of them, and then add in your welcome message. So obviously you might need a little bit more time to work on your welcome message. We only have about 8 more minutes together, and so maybe it's something that you can work on afterwards as part of that second hour for going through and getting this professional development. There's that Simple Syllabus guide if you do need help with your Simple Syllabus there. Once you get your welcome message in the way that you like it, same thing here. I've got a Microsoft form where you can put your email address, and then you can put your welcome message in there. Okay, so that one's there, and then that will be ready to collect whenever you're ready. So we're kind of rushing since it's the first class, first meeting together. I want to finish this off and make sure you all know about the inspection document. So usually we'll have enough time so that y'all are working on it, and I can if you have any questions for me, I can help you. And I will stay afterwards, but I do want to try to get everything covered in this hour. So, all right, that's that. Y'all know about that. Once again, I'll do questions here in a couple of minutes, but I do want to talk about the home inspection because this is a new thing, and this is kind of like the main thing you need to be working on between our sessions. So what you're going to do, here's the path. This is the place, this is what you're going to get the credit for your professional development. You're going to open up the home inspection assignment and download the Word document. So this button right here takes you to the home inspection assignment. No, it doesn't. Why does it not do that? I made a last minute edit. That button doesn't work right now. It will work by the time this recording is posted. In the meantime, you can just click the next button. It's the next page in this module. So on this page, let's see what we've got here. We need to find the document. And so what you're going to do, we've got a little bit of why you're doing this here, because we're trying to tilt this for you. But where it says here, what to do, download the week 1 home inspection Word document. So if I click on that one, it's going to open up this docx, and you'll see there are some items that you can inspect in your course. So these ones are aligned with CARES just for this first week. And this is going to be your baseline. This is, we're gonna do this again at the end of this course, and you're going to compare and see if you have moved the needle, as they say. If I look at this first one, it says, I build human connections with students in every class meeting. If you feel like this is something that you're not very strong at yet, growth mindset yet, you can put here emerging, and then write down why you feel that way. Like, I don't really connect with the youth as much as I would like. Uh, Diana's laughing. Diana sometimes tells me stories about the youths. Um, so you would put maybe emerging here if it's something where you really feel like you want to improve in that. Maybe you're fine, you're good, you're not like the best, you don't know all your students' names, but the students seem happy when they're in the class with you, right? And you make certain connections with them. That would be reinforcing. Mastering would be like, I know all my students, I know what they like. Like we joke around in class. And so you would choose based on your teaching practice where you feel you're at currently. And then you would write the reflection. You're going to do that for each of these. So during your week, while you're teaching, you're going to look, okay, do I have inclusive language in my course materials? Emerging, maybe what does inclusive language even mean, right? Emerging, I don't know what that means. You can put that there, right? There's no words there. And so you can do that for each of these, and then you would submit this at the end of the week. So it's a document, you can download it, right? If I download this, I can open it up, I can print it, I can write it, I can check it, or you can do it on Word. I believe these are actual check boxes. Unless something, yep. So you can actually just check one of these. And then one thing I want to note, if you're doing mastering on everything, that's great. Like it's great that you think of yourself that way. But we are going to be doing observations, and other people are going to take this sheet that you fill out, and then they're going to have their own version, and then they're going to see if you are the master of all these things. This is not a graded thing. It's not better if you're, I mean, obviously it's better if you're like the master of all these things, but the goal is not, once again, the goal is to try to get to mastery. But if you're not there right now, it's okay, is what I want to say. That's what I guess I'm trying to say. If you're all emerging, that's okay. You're not going to get like dinged points. There's no like punishment for that. This is a real self-reflection. I want y'all to take the time in your class while you're teaching or working with students, and think about that. If a student misses your class, what's their clear path to stay current? So like for this one, I record this. I'm going to be posting it as soon as I can. So if you miss a class, the recording is going to be there, and I still have a way to kind of catch up. So catch up. All right, so you're going to download it. You're going to fill it in as you teach this week, and then you're going to submit it to the assignment, and then you're going to add a copy to your home portfolio. Like I said, we'll talk about portfolio next time. It kind of relates to professional development anyways, but there is that button there. If you click on the portfolio, it will open it up, and it is pretty easy to put it in there. If you just click on it, and then I'm in a different one. You can click on it, and then you just add in the assignment. So we'll talk about that next time. I've got a minute left here. Let me pop back here. So we talked about all that. That's what the focus is. Okay, next week. So we're going to enhance our retention and transfer here for event 9. Next week, I said, is going to be the kitchen. We're thinking about, we're gonna look at our professional development plans next week, and you can kind of think of that as like a recipe for the professional development that you're going to be doing during the year, like planning it out. What do you need? What do you want to focus on? The icebreaker, I'll give you a hint here, or I guess I'll just tell you. Next week's icebreaker will be, what kind of food do you want to bring to the potluck? So this party that we're having is a potluck party. So what kind of food do you want to bring? Think about a recipe that you might know for that. If you have any questions, stick around. It is 2 p.m. right now, so I know some of y'all got to go. Thank you for your time. I appreciate y'all taking the time to come and join us here today, and hope to see y'all next time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.